Hello, Lennies and bunny lovers. Welcome back to the channel. Lorelai here, and today I'm going to discuss the top rabbit breeds that I would never own. Okay, and I want to make the disclaimer before I go on that I am not saying these breeds are not worthy of love, not worthy of a home. I think all rabbits are special and magical and deserve a loving home. Point blank. What I am saying in this video is I would not personally seek out these specific rabbits intentionally. And the reason being, it's quite simple. We are now in an era of an overpopulation of rabbits globally. And so what happens when you have too much supply and not enough demand? Well, you then have a surplus of bunnies who are homeless, okay? They are at the shelters, they're getting euthanized, they're getting dumped on the side of the road, etc. Nothing wrong with wanting a specific kind of rabbit, just know what you're getting with those rabbits long term. So please subscribe, like, comment, and let's hop right into this video. So the first breed or breeds of rabbits that I would not get are any of the lop-eared rabbits. And a lop-eared rabbit has the floppy ears as opposed to the erect ears that rabbits are typically known for. This can include the French lop, the English lop, the mini lop. So these lop-eared rabbits tend to have a lot of ear problems. Specifically ear infections. They have quite narrow ear canals, a lot of buildup of wax, and they're also at risk of hearing loss. There are some rabbits whose ears have to get cleaned weekly. Now, are there some Holland lops that may go on to have no ear problems their whole life? It's possible, sure. But I would say those are the exception. And more specifically, when we narrow this down, I would never own a Holland lop. This is one of the more compact lop-eared rabbits. Okay, so they're quite small, they have quite compact skulls, and so they have a whole host of health issues relating to dental, respiratory, and even gastrointestinal problems. And I have made a whole video on Holland lops, which you can check out. So this takes me into the next group of breed or breeds that I would not own, and those are any of the dwarf rabbit breeds. So this can include the Netherland dwarf, the Hoto dwarf, the American fuzzy lop. There's so many dwarf breeds. They are typically under 4 pounds, which is quite small. You know, they're like these teacup bunnies, okay? Even on the dwarf rabbit Wikipedia, it says dwarfism is often associated with a cluster of physical abnormalities. They're known for having dental problems, especially because they have like the smaller heads. So they have a lot of misaligned teeth. They have respiratory issues because those upper teeth sit so close to their sinuses, and so they can get a lot of sinus infections. So on the opposite side of this spectrum, the next breeds that I would not own are any of the giant breeds. So this consists of the Flemish giant, the continental giant, the checkered giant, etc. And the reason being is they just tend to not live as long as the smaller rabbits. They can live around 6 to 8 years, which is not very long, especially when we have rabbits nowadays living up to 15 years old. That's their biggest downside. They're also more prone to heart problems. So they tend to suffer from dilated cardiomyopathy. In this condition, the heart muscle stretches and thins and the heart chambers enlarge, making it difficult for the heart to pump blood efficiently. They also tend to suffer from early onset arthritis purely because of their size, and they also tend to have a dense coat, which sheds more. Okay, so if you have a bunny now that sheds a lot, because like Lennon sheds so much, imagine that like 3 times more. So the next breeds that I would not own are any of the Angora breeds. So you've got French Angora, English Angora. I might even throw in any of the other fuzzy breeds like the fuzzy lop, the Jersey woolly, maybe a lion head, although that's a bit of a stretch. But I think you can see where I'm getting at here is the coat maintenance of these breeds are quite intricate. Okay, it's a lot of work, and I don't think people realize how much maintenance goes into these rabbits' coats. You know, these rabbits are beautiful. They photograph well. You know, they really are cute. They're gorgeous, don't get me wrong. But in the hot summers specifically, these rabbits are like suffering under those coats. It's heartbreaking. And so a lot of people do shear or trim, and you've got to do this quite frequently. And then on top of that, you add the molting season, right? Which is like 4 times a year. A lot of the fur on these rabbits can also get quite matted, and that can be painful or uncomfortable for them. Listen, if you have the patience, by all means, you know, I just personally don't have the patience. I think they're great rabbits though, but the work that goes into the maintenance is just not quite for me, and I just don't think it's for everybody either. So it's important to keep that in mind. And the final breed of rabbits that I would not own is the Belgian hare. And typically I would say most rabbits have like quite similar personalities. They're not bred like dogs in the sense that they have these like roles and purposes per se. Like you'll have a sheepdog, you'll have, you know, a hunting dog, a watchdog. But in the case of the Belgian hare, they tend to be a little more athletic than the other rabbits. They have very powerful feet, and a lot of breeders say that there is an insistent presence of the wild gene that lends Belgian hares one of 2 personality traits, making them either fighters or runners. So again, nothing wrong with having a more athletic bunny if that is your taste. I personally prefer a more mellow rabbit, and you have to make sure that you have the space and the resources to take care of such a hyperactive rabbit, okay? Now, if you were to ask me, well, what rabbit would you own? I would say any mixed rabbit. They tend to be the healthiest, they tend to live the longest. It's really sad because they tend to be the most overlooked. They really do. People like cool looking, they like cute looking. So if you're a very ordinary looking rabbit, man, I'm gonna get all choked up. For instance, the all black rabbits and the all white rabbits tend to get ignored at the shelters and stuff. Anyway, guys, I hope that this video was informative. And just remember, every rabbit at some point in their life is gonna have a health issue. Yeah, comment below actually what kind of rabbit you have. I'm curious, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye. Mwah.